Alright, so today we have a very fun war video. We have one of my newest rank 4s, Sorcerer Supreme, and I really like this character. I feel like she's like very fun to play, and in war she just goes crazy because, Mystic Dispersion just like supercharges her, man, especially in this current war meta. But first we have some Mole Man gameplay in Path 4, this is Section 1, and whenever you Purify you get a Fury buff, right? So you get a Fury passive actually. So you just get to go like absolutely haywire with Mole Man, like 13k mediums right off the bat, and it just like keeps getting higher, man. It's so fun. Like, I love Path 4 with Mole Man. He is by far the best counter in my opinion. Unless it's like a Havoc or something, then like of course he won't be like that good. But like for most champions, Mole Man is just like the way to go for this path, 100%. And he just obliterates that void in like 20 something seconds. Always a fun time with Mole Man. And now we have this Spiderham, which is on Path 4 Section 2. A very common placement, and this time around I didn't use any invuln boost for this Mole Man fight. Usually I do just because, Spiderham, a very punishing champion, so like once he like clips you once, it's kind of painful. But I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna save it for like, I don't know, the next fight. I was like, I don't really need it for this fight. And that like comes back to bite me a little bit. I don't die on this fight, but I do get like clipped because I was like, surely I won't get clipped, right? But nope, I get clipped. I get like 5 comboed immediately, and I'm like, okay, wow. Well, it's worry time now, but I kept my cool. I still have my tracker C active, so we're chilling, right? But my plan here is to like let him build up his spider nonsense till like 10, and then it will reset, and then that's when I use my SP1. That's the plan, right? Because as you can see, it's like building up right now. It's at 7. We're about to lose our track accuracy 2. Now it's at like 10, so we're just gonna have to just wait out the timer, and then once it goes to 0, we're gonna drop our SP2. Our SP1, sorry. So yeah, like that was the plan. I dropped my SP1 here, so now the spider nonsense is reset, and we can just go back to being like, good old regular Mole Man. We enter Frenzy here just because I don't have my track accuracy anymore anyway, so I was like, may as well just get the guaranteed crits, and then the fight is just over in a pretty decent amount of time, right? Okay, so at first I thought nothing of this Terrax, but then I realized that this is actually a pretty problematic fight, especially for Wiccan, because it has heal block, right? And how Wiccan deals with Terrax is that he heals back the energy damage from the rock field. So I was like, okay, this shouldn't be too bad, but then it hit me that, hey, this might be pretty annoying because you can't heal from the, like, rock field debuff, or the rock field, like, energy damage, right? So I was like, okay, now it's like looking kind of problematic. I didn't realize it at first, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna hit into him regularly because I'll just like heal it back anyways. And then I dropped my SP1 and I was like, where's my healing? But then I realized it's a heal block debuff, so I was like, okay, now it's time to worry a little bit because he has the planetary endurance buffs active too now. So I was like, okay, things are not looking too nice, right? I was like, okay, I'm a bit worried now, but you know what? It's fine. But I'm just going to try to finish it off quickly. I'm trying to build the SP2 here. Kind of dangerous because SP2 is very punishing. If you like miss the dodge, like it can crit for a ton of damage output. But it doesn't matter, the fight's pretty much done. So let me paint the picture for you for this war boss fight. We were up 142 to like 140 or something like that. And all that was left were my fights and like 4 other fights. And so we were winning 4 deaths to 3. We only had 3 deaths, they had 4 deaths. So if I were to die to this boss, I would have been screwed. Like, I would have screwed over the alliance, right? We probably would have lost the war if I died here. So there was a lot of pressure on me. And so this, like, the fight was like a much more worrisome fight than it should be. So let's go over my master plan for this fight. And the plan is put on Mystic Dispersion, 5 out of 5, and that's about it. Because you'll just get so much power that you can like spam special attacks. So it's like a very straightforward fight once you just like get going. The start is a bit like sketchy because you have to like time it perfectly, like the SP1. But once you get past that, it's a very fun time. A 65,000 crit right there as well. Sorcerer hits like way harder than I thought, to be honest. It's so much fun, especially with like full boosters up. It's a very awesome time. And look at this SP2. We just regen all the damage back. It is so much fun. Like, Sorcerer is awesome, man. I really love this character. She's just a ton of fun to play. Another SP2, another 65k crit. This is just going so well, man. This is going so well so far. Sorcerer is just like a monster. She is dominating this fight. And then we pop the SP3, and it does a pretty good amount of damage. She is down to like 24%. So yeah, just a very solid fight so far. I think I do get clipped a little bit by his SP1 because I just haven't like mastered that dex yet. Yeah, I think it's right here. Yeah, look at that. Look at me go. But it's fine. We still have like a ton of health to play with anyway, so I'm not too worried at all. We have the slow active now. We have the armor break active. and things are still just looking a-okay. So that's like all that matters, right? We pop another SP2, 28,000 crit. No crit there, unfortunately. That would have like ended the fight for sure. But now I just need to bait out like one more heavy attack and then go for another SP1. And then that closes out my first fight with Sorcerer Supreme and my first boss fight of the season. And it just went very, very well. And I just love this character, man. I cannot wait to like do more war content with her. Do like maybe general content with her too. She's a very like capable character, I feel like. So she's going to be pretty useful in the season. And yeah, that wraps up this war video. Let me know your thoughts on Sorcerer Supreme, one of my newest rank 4s. I'm a big fan of her personally, and I cannot wait to use her more. And yeah, it's about it for me.